All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is Monday, June 26, 2017, and the title of tonight's webinar is Getting the Trade at the Right Moment. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we might have, our live trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems, should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? If not, we're going to go ahead and get started. By the way, just to let everybody know, did everybody get their VIP scripts today? The mid-band is expiring Friday, and I will be off on this Friday. I've got a trip that I've got to make. So Charles will be handling the room totally, but he has really nothing to do with the scripts as far as that goes, getting them out and things like that. So if anybody didn't, and I see several that didn't, send an email to viperlicensing@vipertradingsystems.com, and Linda can get those right out to you, even while we have this webinar as far as that goes. I'll go ahead and type it in the little chat box. Just one sec. Make sure I spelled it all right here real quick, and I'll send it to everyone. viperlicensing@vipertradingsystems.com, and Linda can get those out to you. Okay? Most people say they've already got it installed, ready to roll. Let's see, will you be putting Saturday AM and tonight's on the site? Yes, as a matter of fact, I forgot to do Charles's Saturday. I apologize for that. I normally do that, but he had a webinar Saturday. I have not posted it yet. So I thought since I hadn't, and I had to get these scripts out today, that I'll go ahead and post it right after this webinar is over. So they'll both be up there for sure. Okay. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to show some charts since that's what we're here to see, right? Absolutely what we're here to see. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and show you this in just a second. All right, we're going to do this a little bit different tonight because I want you to see these trades at the right moment. And this is going to make us actually a little bit late because we're going to do this like we did that webinar that one time, at least for the first half hour of it. And I'm going to show you how to see this in real time. Okay, now I think you can pretty easily tell by just the mid-band alone we've got an uptrend, right? Normally I just go ahead and show the lightning swings, and you can tell we've got an uptrend, right? But with the mid-band, of course, you can see it. We went from a downtrend to an uptrend. We're kind of going sideways here, and then we went back to an uptrend again right here. So we're looking for longs, right? Okay. Now, what I want you to see, and by the way, this is starting literally last night. Okay. I want to show everybody how you can see this in literally real time so that you can get some really good trades. Okay. And this was actually Sunday night, I believe. Yeah, 6:25. That was last night. Okay. I didn't trade this last night. Wasn't available and everything, so I didn't. So we'll trade it right now. Let's see if we can get something. Now, when you draw on your charts, anybody tell me where you would put a line on this chart without seeing any prices or anything? Where would you look for the next trade on this chart? Because it's really important, and that's what I stress every single webinar and in our trading room all the time, is where to see the trade. Okay, let's see, I'm getting 43.03, but keep in mind, now I want to show you something here real quick that you'll be able to see, I think, really easily. Let's go ahead and draw 43.03. See where that's already been tested? Okay. So what about 43? Oh, what is that? We don't have a horizontal line on here. Let's get a horizontal line so we can see it. I don't have my indicator. So that's about 43.13, isn't it? Okay. So, you know, it came up and it's pretty much tested it. You can see here, right? And then this one's even been tested right here. See it? Right here. See how it thrust up and pulled back? So each time you look to the left to trade the right, keep in mind that, you know, when it's already been tested, like so, they may not test it again, because what is the definition of an uptrend? Anybody? Higher lows and higher highs, right? Now, keep in mind that that's as basic as it gets, but you wouldn't believe how many people don't see it in real time, because there are 4 trends on your chart, okay? We know, for instance, that this is pretty much, at least this third trend here is nice and green. And right now, even our power meter 1 and 2 are. This is real data, okay? So when you look to the left to trade the right, be sure and look at those swings. You know, for instance, if I draw this one here, everybody knows, for instance, that when you identify a swing, it's only when you take out the previous left swing, right? So in other words, this swing here is not identified till it takes this swing out with a closed bar. This swing is not identified till it takes out this swing with a closed bar. Okay? Now notice that we're way up here. This is where our price is right now. At least that's close to where it is. We don't know exactly where it is because, frankly, I don't have bars on the chart. They're invisible. But we know that's where we're at. Okay? So you want to see if we can get a little trade? I'll go ahead and draw Lightning 1 instead, because I'm going to watch it. See if we can get Lightning 1 on our chart. Yeah, there's Lightning 1. All right, so I see a swing right underneath here on Lightning 1. That looks to me to be about 43.13. And then I see another swing right here to the left, and that looks to be about 43.16. So this is kind of telling me that that's a little sweet spot that I'm looking for that trade, isn't it? Let's go ahead and make this where we can see it. I forgot about my little box not being the right color here. We'll fix it. We'll make it about 4, and we'll make it nice and light colored. We'll even do it in white. Make it even lighter. Let's do it in a snow white. That way it really stands out. Ghost white even. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so that's our sweet spot, isn't it? Aha moment, isn't that? See, now this is what has really opened up a lot of people to different trading than they've ever seen in their entire life. Because you notice that I did away with the trees, you know, basically the forest, you know, where you're just all jumbled up and you're, you know, what if you were lost out in a forest and you couldn't even see your way out, right? Or from an airplane, you just see that huge forest, but you don't see all those individual trees. Well, we got rid of all that forest. We took out all the bars so that you can see what's going on in this chart. That's what I see when I'm looking at a chart. I don't really see the prices as much as I see, or the bars, that is, as much as I see these swings. That's the whole idea of why we developed Lightning, because you are continually going to see this same thing on every single chart. Okay, if they've tested a swing. Now, a lot of times they will double test them. There's no question about that. Okay, this looks like this double tested here. See here on my little Lightning 2, and then they also tested again on Lightning 1. Okay, so that happens. But usually if they're going to step up, they're going to hold that as they take out these next swings. So this is our sweet spot on this particular trade right here. Now, if we get anywhere near this, you know, I would be ready to fire along, wouldn't you? Now, let's turn on our predictor just to see where it is. Predictor's kind of telling us that we're looking for a trade right in through here anyway, aren't they? Right in through there. So this is my little sweet spot, isn't it? Because we've already broken up above here. We know that if we come back, we're going to probably test either here right? Or no lower than here, because this is actually what we call our identified swing. Everybody sees that, right? We can't go any lower than this and still stay with an uptrend on our secondary trend. Okay? Now, if it breaks this, or if it breaks this, then obviously we're going to go lower. And remember, if we break micro, we'll usually go down and check these secondary or even these medium swings. Okay? So let's see if we can just get a little trade. Hopefully, I can see it without seeing those bars. We're going to try it. We're going to try it. Let's just try it, just for the fun of it. See, it's in my box. I'm just trying it. Let's see if it works. Notice how, now granted, notice how my price was filled way up here because the prices are really here. Now, if we saw this in real time, wouldn't we already be in here, not there? But I'm going to show you can still make money even seeing this, because this only drew this little lightning here after it saw it. So these are after the fact on these little swings, okay? But the pricing was down here for that moment, and we missed it, but we're still going to see if we get a decent trade. We'll find out. Right now we're down about $210 because we got it at the wrong place, but let's just see, just for the fun of it. And I'm going to go ahead and put my stop just under here because we shouldn't be able to break that with an exit on close. Everybody see that? That is so important to be able to see this in real time. Now granted, if we had a price chart, we would have boxed it in, wouldn't we? See where that did that little bit right there? We would have boxed that in and we would have been in that trade roughly right across there. That's where our box would have been. We would have gotten in right about close of the bar, right about through here. Okay, but since I've got this going almost 100 times, we're obviously got a different feel because, well, we're not seeing the prices. We know if the price was here, though, we would have boxed it in and we would have gotten that trade. See that trade right there? Nailed it. Okay, now let's see if we can go ahead. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead. Is this got our lightning one? I think it does still. I'm going to take a chance and I'm going to buy if our lightning one does a little box. Let's just see if it does. We're going 100 times. Oh, it's too fast. Okay. That's not our light. Yeah, that's our lightning one. That's okay. All right, see now we're not down anymore. We're green. Okay. Now what I normally do, like always on any chart, is go ahead and get your one target out of the way. Okay. You want to put one at the swing, and you might want to let another one go a little bit out of the way and see if a predictor will draw. And you want to take some coin at the predictor. Okay, let's see if this works out. We're only up 30. We were down 240, by the way. That's quite a bit. But remember, we're not seeing bars. We're seeing lightning only. And look how that box held both times. Because we diagnosed our chart, we looked to the left to trade the right. Aha moment. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to have to go more than 10 times at least. Let's see if we can get some trade on the table here. This is slow. Oh, keep in mind though, this is Sunday night. I forgot about that. This is actually 7:01 p.m. Sunday night. So this is really, really slow trading on Sunday night. So I've got it going about 20 times. We'll kick it up to 30 and see if we can get something. Okay. Now we still got our stop in because we're looking at our chart. We know that's our identified swing. I think so many people don't see this in real time, and it will really put a hampering on your trading if you don't see it in real time because it is important. Let's see, Adam says, I love when price comes back immediately and penetrates previous support or resistance. Best scalp trade there is. I agree. I absolutely agree. Now we're still holding support. Remember, this is lightning. These are really prices, but we're not seeing the bars. Let's kick it up to 50 times. This is really, really slow. Pulling back again a little bit. That's just that sideways chop. Now I would probably box this little area in right here. More than likely add me a trade, but we can't see the prices, so it's going to be kind of hard to do. But you could actually add a trade if it breaks this little box area right here. You want to try it? See if it works? Now, too late. See how it broke it? that would have been a good one. Without the pricing, that's kind of hard to see. Look how that came right back and kissed right on top of the previous swing. Everybody see that? We're going to get out of this trade based on this little lightning also. Let's see. We're up $310, not too shabby. And we would probably go ahead and raise our stop by now, just somewhere under here. Whoop. Still got one, don't we? Whoa, what happened? Just a second. There we go. Sorry about that. Still got one, but I think what I did is I accidentally did what Object Trader doesn't like. We no longer have targets because I moved it as it was doing a quick movement. So that didn't help us out at all. Look at that trade though. What is wrong with Ninja? Quit. Okay, everybody see our stop right here? That would be our stop. Unfortunately, I don't have a stop anymore. Now I'm flat because we hit all of our targets. So we're good to go, right? Now what about another trade? Let's see if we can get another trade. What do you think? Should we get another trade here? Good enough, right on the predictor. Let's see if that one works. I took a chance on that one because that's a higher low. See it? Right on top of predictor. Here's our little swing that we don't want to go below. So obviously we put our stop there. And unfortunately we're not going to have stops now because Object Trader went into a loop. So I'll have to actually restart it. And I think I'll go ahead and do that. Does everybody see though how to see this in real time on your charts? Because it is absolutely possible. Absolutely possible. Let's get rid of the predictors just for a minute. And let's get rid of Lightning 3. We don't really care about Lightning 3. We know what our trend is. But we do care about Lightning 2. See it? High, low, higher, high. Higher low, not a higher high, right? So this is your identified swing right here. It cannot take it out if it's going to head up. Everybody sees that, right? Okay, let's go ahead and close this out just for a moment. And we're going to try to see if we can even get another trade. We'll watch for another trade. But this time we're going to go ahead and use the prices. And let's use the same way to look at the chart. But we're going to look at some prices. Bear with me a second. I'll get a chart with prices on it. Bear with me a second. You should be able to see a chart with prices on it. Okay. We're even into a new day. So let's see if we can get another trade. I'm going to slow this down because it's going like 100 times because I want y'all to tell me where the next trade is on this chart. Okay. Now, you got a high, you got a low, you got a lower high. This is not your identified swing. Okay. But the predictor is saying that it's a pretty good level of support. So I'm going to draw a line there. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put Object Trader back on the chart. And we're going to see if we can get a trade. Now this is a whole new day now because we're in basically midnight last night. Let's see if we can get a trade. All right. So if this was to break what I call power meter 3, you've got a high, you've got a low, you've got a lower high. If they take this out, then we'd probably be changing very possibly the trend on this, right? But until it does, we're not. Okay, so let's see if we can get a little trade. We got 740 so far. We'll go ahead and do a trade if it gets down to, we'll use predictors, see if we can get a predictor trade. This is a little harder to see this one because here's the deal on this particular trade right here. You've got a thrust, retrace, thrust. See this little, where you got that reverse candle? I'm using Rankos. So let's go here and then let's go here. And this is our sweet spot. Everybody see that? Now if we go deeper, like what we call a red bar probe, we could go as low as here. So I'll draw one more line. We're going to take this trade based on a predictor or a bounce. See if we can get it. See if we can get it. We've already drawn our box. We know where the sweet spot is, right? Everybody sees why on this, right? I'll draw lightning if you don't see it. I'll draw lightning if you don't see it, because it'll draw, even on the Renko chart. See there? High, low, higher, high. That's your identified swing. Everybody see that? This is not an identified swing because you have a high, you've got a low, but you don't have a higher high, so this is not your established swing yet. Now it will be if it holds and you get higher highs, but until then, this is my identified swing right here. Okay, so if I'm going to head up, I expect a higher low than this. You know, look to the left to trade the right. Low, high, higher low, higher high, ABC, right? We're looking for a trade right in that box. And we will see if we can get it. And hopefully our predictor will print here if we get a little bit more price movement. Everybody seeing a little bit more how to get the trade at the right moment on these charts? Makes it a little easier, doesn't it? Absolutely. Matter of fact, the way I look at this chart, if it actually broke this swing right here, more than likely we wouldn't continue going up. I'd be looking for this trade if it decided to break down. Break, kiss, and roll. If it holds this or this, then I expect it to go up and check those tops. We'll see what we get. Everybody see why I've got my box drawn here, right? You've got a swing right here. You've got a swing right here. This is a little bit larger sweet spot, but this is actually a sweet spot too. But see, this has already checked this. See here? They've checked that. They haven't checked this. So I'm thinking they're going to go a little deeper. There's a predictor right there that we can absolutely take to the bank, it looks like to me. Let's draw the line on it. Predictor says right across here, and keep in mind this predictor is based on a 4-range chart, not this Renko. So we're going to look for this trade in this box. This is going like 300 times. Hopefully that's not too fast. I'll slow it down. There we go. All right, what do y'all think? What do you think? Predictor? Let's try it. Let's try it. Now, what do you think about our stop, though? If this is going to head down, don't you think it would take this out? So let's protect our trade just a little under that swing. See it to the left? And we'll put exit on close. All right. We're feeling a little bit of heat, about 40 bucks now. It's break even. Everybody see that? Pretty good way to see the trade in real time. Now, should I have waited for the bar to close? Probably yes. You know, I'm just trying to show you a little bit more aggressive, you know, like if you want to just take the trade at the predictor. If you wanted to wait for it to actually, you know, maybe break a bar, to give an example, like with these little bit larger Renko bars, I would probably, come on, where'd my cursor go? You little stinker, where'd you go? Give me all kinds of fits on the cursor today. All right, for instance, if it broke this resistance right here, you could actually take the trade. You want to try it and see if it works? Resistance. If it breaks it, I'll just go ahead. I'm not going to load the boat. Well, I'll load the boat, but I'll only go for like a scalp. You want to try it? If it breaks resistance. Everybody see why my line's at resistance, right? Right there. Pretty close on top of this too, within a tick, close enough to me. I've got it going one time now and it's not going fast enough. We'll go about 10 or 12 times. Let's try it. Just clicked resistance right there. See if we can get a scalp. And by the way, I would probably get one of the trades out of the way, at least with probably predictor. Let's see if it'll get there. Predictor's right there. Nope, predictor's right there. That's what we're shooting for. You want to see if we can get another trade? Now we're going sideways now. What do you think? We'll scalp it? Let's scalp it. I'm going to go ahead and get my stop, obviously, up higher right now, even with these Renko bars. See if we get that trade. Now with your runner, you could go ahead and leave this trade. I don't personally like that when that starts rolling over like that. I'd probably get out and then get back in. Because what they're trying to do, they're trying to test this swing right here now. And they're going to take us more than likely. I'm going to put this right here, but exit on close. That's our swing. See if they hit that and head back on up. We'll find out. There's a predictor. That's a little tight on my stop now because predictors give it a little bit of wiggle room inside that predictor at least. Remember, a lot of times they come back and they check. That's okay. Still came inside our box. And it looks like we're going to get another target. Now with this being sideways like this, you could leave a runner on, but we only have the one, well, we got 2 contracts left on, so we're good to go here. Everybody see that? Now usually when I see this like this double top like this, and they come back below my support, I would more than likely have already shorted that, but you know, I'm a little bit more aggressive when it comes to that. And you'd already have your 5 ticks. See there? Came right back below support that was resistance. Now what if this decided to change directions very possibly? Because remember when we opened the room, I do believe we were shorting crude, not buying long. Now I don't know when it changed because I wasn't up at 2 o'clock in the morning. But what do you think? You want to try one more trade? See if we can get one more long? We'll wait for one more predictor. Let's see if we can figure it out in advance. Let's go ahead and diagnose our charts. Getting the trade at the right moment is super important, so we're going to try to do that as we speak. I'm going to draw some lines. Okay, they've already checked that little swing there. See it? Pretty close right there. They haven't checked that one just yet. These are too shallow right here for a double top, so I'm going to say they're going to come down more than likely to right in this area right here where they haven't checked yet. 42, and we're going to draw us a little box. And we're going to wait for predictor to see if it tells me that I drew it in the right spot. See if I got any questions coming in. Oh yeah, you'd always move your stop up. Sometimes when I'm doing this right here, you don't necessarily get that stop move, but yeah, you want to keep your stop up when you get your lightning swings. Absolutely, for sure. Now usually when I get a double top like this, I'm kind of conscious of the fact that they might just do a little bit of bouncing. Let's see. They don't have a swing here at this predictor, so I'm not going to take this one because I don't see a swing over here to the left. Everybody see that? If I draw a line here, I don't see a swing here except this one right here. They could be testing it. You want to try it? See if we get a quick little trade? All right, we'll do it if it gets down there, but it's going to be a instantaneous quick trade. And be careful when you do 4 contracts with oil, because if this doesn't work, we don't want a 20 tick stop on it, obviously. See if we can get it. We're drawing on our chart, looking to the left to trade the right. We're waiting on predictor. Let's try it. I'm going to leave that stop there just for the fun of it. If it comes down there, I'll move it pretty quick, but let's see if this works. Still holding on our predictor so far. Came down a little lower. Look where it did come down to. It came down to right there where they've already checked. See there? Always got to see these little swings, and you'll see where they haven't checked yet. I'm going to go ahead and protect it now. Just in case. We don't want them to. That's 8 ticks. That still cost me $320. That's quite a bit, isn't it? Okay, now looking at this chart, what's happening right now, does everybody see if they did decide to change directions where you would take the trade? I'm going to go ahead and tighten this stop. Almost got it. Not quite. See that swing right there? That usually makes me nervous when they skip a swing. They tested that swing. So you have a high, a low, a lower high, and a lower low. They tested it and they didn't take it out. So they'll probably get us. I'm going to go ahead and tighten it just under here, simply because they didn't take out that swing. And we're flat. Okay, everybody see that? Now let's look at this chart and see if possible we're starting to get lower highs and lower lows. Let's see if we can possibly get us a trade in the opposite direction. Let's find out. Bear with me a second. I got to get rid of these lightning. Okay, let's diagnose our chart. We have a high here, a low here, and a higher high here. So this does establish this as our medium swing right here. Everybody see that? High, low, higher high than over here. So that is definitely an established swing. Now we don't just willy-nilly short this if it breaks this, right? Everybody knows that. What are we waiting for? We're waiting for this. If it does it, we don't know if it's going to. It may head back up. We'll find out. And then a rollover, right? So let's see if it does something like that. Or if we head back up. So I would be drawing on this particular chart right here, being a Renko type chart, I would either be taking a trade right here at the mid band, which it more than likely would give you a quick little trade, like 5 ticks maybe. Let's see if it does. And I'm going to tighten the daylights out of my stop. And I got that later than I wanted it. I wanted it right on the line, because that's support. And I don't like it particularly because that's a high, a low, a lower high, and a lower low. We'll see if it works out. We'll see. They work out much better when they're off those predictors, in my personal opinion, you know, rather than after, because now your next predictor will actually be lower than this one. Everybody see why? Because you're getting lower highs and lower lows. Yeah, and they've already checked out that 39.42 area too. And they haven't taken out the top, so this is probably quite a risky trade right here, because we're trying it on literally the 4th time it's been here. So if you wanted to, in a case like this, you could actually reverse if it takes out the swing, but I'd probably still do a little, well, we got one target. Let's tighten it. There's a swing right there. Except I'm not going to reverse it here. And there's a swing right there. Not taking it out. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. Barely wicking it. I'd probably protect it somewhere right in through here with this particular trade. Okay, now with what I've taught so far, does everybody want to see if we can draw on the chart, on the black chart, and see if we can get a trade? I'm going to try it. Let's try it on the black chart. I'm just curious if we can do it. I'm going to get rid of the mid-band. We know the mid-band is actually long, but I'm going to get rid of it just because it clutters up the chart a little bit on this black chart. Hopefully I don't lock up Ninja. All right, let's see here. Let's draw our little lightning swings. Right? There's our line that we drew on the chart from earlier even. So if it breaks this, you want to short it? Want to try it? Let's see if we can do it where we can fool it. Let's do a region. Let's do a short outside the bottom of the box, and we'll do a close. And just see if it works. Okay, right here, how do you know to take a rollover short or take a long from a deep pullback? Well, because we're starting, we've definitely double topped. We've checked that support so many times. And we've already taken the predictor trade. And we may just go ahead and get a long. That's not a problem with me. But I am looking to see if we could very possibly close below that swing. And we might just do that. But could you actually go long, for instance, if it did go ahead and take out this little area here or this area here and try to go ahead and head up? That would be like boxing it in. We could try that if you want. Let's go ahead and do something like that. We'll turn on long above, close above, and we'll turn on short below, and we'll see which one fills. And we'll even do a reverse. Let's try that. That should have filled, shouldn't it? I would think that should have filled. If we've gotten a close of the bar, we should have gotten a close of the bar, shouldn't we? You want to try it anyway? Now let's wait and get a little retracement first. Let's see if we can get a retrace. There it is. See right there? Just shorted it. Because it came below my line, like we said, came back and kissed it. And we'll see if we can get a rollover. See, that's the way you could box this in, though. This is what we talk about in the room all the time. See what I mean there? And let's look at the actual chart and see what it looks like for the fun of it. Where's it at? Right here. See there? Just what I said it might do. Okay. Now, this could actually be not a short, but I want to show you one that I talk about all the time in the room. When I don't like a phantom, let me show you when I do like a phantom and when I don't like a phantom. Identified swing, okay? You've got a high here, a low here, right? But you've got a high here that they didn't take out. So is that swing identified? And the answer is no. That phantom's decent. Everybody see that? Because with this swing not being identified, they can go lower than that and still head up. But now look at this one here, and you'll see why they can't. High, low, higher high. See there? So this is our medium swing. So when they take that out, they usually check it, which they're doing right now as we speak. And by the way, more than likely, I could even do this and see if we can get a little bar close on this chart even, as long as it doesn't take out that line on resistance. See there? And just get one target out of the way. Okay, now with what I've taught here for the last 40 minutes, pardon me, 40 minutes, not 15 or 20, where would you be looking for a trade later on? And I see several people that have already typed it in just as I was saying that. Everybody see it? Where did it just break down? Exactly. So would this be a trade for later on? Even if this thing drops like a stone, we don't care. Won't they come back and check resistance? And the answer to that is yes, they will. Support, broke it, it's now resistance. They didn't check it here. Notice that that wick never touched that swing. Okay, that doesn't mean that they won't head down for a while, because they did try to check it. But when they do a retracement, for instance, we're getting a red background now. Okay, when they do a retracement, they're more than likely coming right back into this area right here. And I would be drawing on my chart and say, okay, this is a sweet spot right here. Sometime today, we don't know when, but they're going to check that, unless they just head down in a big, big way and start taking phantom with them. Okay, I would put my stop on this trade like right here, just above the swing, like that. Okay, let's draw on our charts and see if we can figure out where our next trade would be on the micro side. Anybody see it right now? I see it right now. I know you do too if you've been with us a while. Anybody want to try it? Let's just, no trade on the chart whatsoever, and I'll show you where it's at. Draw your lightning. Thrust, retrace, thrust. Okay, so you have a swing here, you have a swing here. Okay, this is what we call micro resistance. This is also what we call an identified swing. So if you weren't even in a trade at all, could you try this trade right here? And the answer would be yes. Just draw your line and just watch and see if you don't get it. We'll see. You should be able to get it. See if we can get it. Actually, I think it already did get it. See, it's right there. It did get it. See where I drew my line? We did get the trade. You did get the pullback. See how it thrust down below it, pulled back and kissed it. That was the trade right there. Lightning swings. You just got to draw on your charts. That's all you got to do. Let's see if we can get another trade. Somebody tell me where the next trade is on this chart, and we'll go from there. What is your stop if taking that micro retracement, Justin, on your question? Well, what I would do personally on this one is the way we do lightning. Let's say that you took this trade right here at the line that I drew. Well, looking to the left to trade the right, you've got a swing right here, like that. So if you took this trade right at 27, you could literally have your stop just above 30, because that swing identifies it. See, this is what we call an identified swing. High, low, lower high, but it's only a lower high when it takes out this swing. It took out this swing when it took out the low. So that's an identified swing. Then you have a high, right? Then you have a low, so this is an identified swing. This is an identified swing. Okay, see how that works? That's exactly the way that works. Now, what if you decided, you know what? If they take out an identified swing to the upside, could I even go long on this for a scalp? We've got a power meter that could possibly get us into something like that. We don't know if it's going to go lower, but let's just try it. Let's just see if we can get something. I won't go 4, we'll just go 2. If power meter goes green. Power meter will go green right there as we speak right now anyway, just above 18. And there you just got you a trade. I'd put my stop right underneath here. Very quickly, there's also a swing here that's identified. You can put it there. Okay, that's a counter trend trade there, but lightning, it's all about lightning. See how lightning was heading down over on this side? Well, when did it start heading back up? When it took out that swing. for sure when it took out that wick. But see how lightning draws on the chart? And we've got a tool that'll actually trade this little trade even against the trend if you want to. You know, will it work out? We don't know yet, but lightning 1 and 2 are both green now. Lightning 3 is still red. So the overall trend is down, but it broke this. I'd trust that lots of times. You want to try it again, see if we can get it again? Where's lightning? Well, it's right here again, at least right now. Let's see if we can get something. We could have shorted it, but unfortunately we didn't get the line to short it. So we're going to see if we can get a retracement type trade. We'll show you how to do a little bit of counter trend trading if we can get it here. That's not what I wanted there, but evidently a 4-range chart must have gone long there. Because see, my lightning power meter 1 is on a 4-range chart. That's probably not the trade I would have taken right there, but we'll try it. We'll see if it works. Let's tighten our stop big time. Exit on close. Yeah, that, I'm not sure exactly why lightning went green on that. Let's find out. I'll bet the 4-range chart will tell us. Have I got a 4-range? Yeah, 4-range chart. Here we go. That's the wrong month there on my webinar one. Bear with it a second. There we go. Evidently, when that did that was when it took out this little bar right here, because on our chart we got filled where? At 10. It must have been on this left side of the chart here is where that filled, because it actually literally had a low, a lower, and then it took this out. So this very well possibly could have done that. I don't expect that it should have though, so I'm not sure exactly why that went green. But we're in the trade because it did, so let's see if it works out. Yeah, if you take a micro retracement, Justin, I would highly recommend using the lightning and just do the trade that way. You want to see how we called the trade in the room this morning? This is getting closer to where we got our nice little trade in the room this morning. We trade at 7:55. We'll see if we can get a trade. And that looks like our trade's working out. Somehow power meter must have known something I didn't. Okay, we've got a high, a higher low, but we do have a lower high here, or lower low here. So this is technically our identified swing right here. See it right here at 22? That's our identified swing on this chart right now. Let's see if we can get that. If we do, this is going to be your new lower identified swing in lightning. Let's see if it draws it. See it draw it right there. Whoa, that must have been some news coming in right there. Now, one thing I want to show you here too is how you can actually, to get the trade at the right moment, you can use the lightning feature on a 4-range chart. I don't recommend using it as much on a Object Trader Ranko. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. We'll get a 4-range. Where'd my 4-range go? Here it is. And we'll see if we can get an actual lightning trade. Power meter 1 or 2, whichever you want. Let's see if we can get one. This is a short chart. We'll go power meter 2. And we'll go like three contracts, fine. Now, does everybody see The range versus the Renko bars, David, on your question. Well, the Renko bars smooth things out a little bit, but it also takes away from where I can see the lightning quite as well. Now, I can see it pretty well on a 2-4 Renko because that's still a small enough bar, but I could tell you exactly where lightning is right here, right now. You know, for instance, if this was to close below here, right here, that would change that to red. Okay? And you could you actually take a trade like that? Absolutely. You want to try it on PM1 instead? We'll try it for a scalp. See, it just broke it. Lightning went red. Support's right here. So I'd probably put one contract right there, let a runner run. We're going to put our stop just above the swing, exit on close. That's our lightning swing. Now, if this isn't going to work out, we're going to know it pretty quick. So far, it just barely broke that swing. I'm not real hot on a trade like this that doesn't actually go ahead and go down to my 18 area. And does anybody remember this trade in the room this morning? I called this trade in the room this morning. Oh, mid-band box can go the other way. Absolutely. If you were in the room this morning, do you remember this trade? I'm remembering it now because we actually opened the room. Let's see. No, it's 7:39. We don't have this trade yet. I think I remember it because I took the trade. But right here is where I'd be shooting for. Right where support is. And I'd be putting my stop nice and tight. You took it and got stopped out, Brad, but did you take it long or did you take it short? Short? Let me show you what I'd do if I got stopped out on this. Let's just see if we can get our first contract first off, though. Now, this is what I call a really tight stop. If you want to, go with the swing a couple of ticks above it and go exit on close. Okay? Because that would usually keep you in the trade if they're not going to just head up, period. Where's your swing to the left? It's right over here. If we're going to head down, we're not going to take that swing out. Right? Thrust, retrace, thrust. Can't take this out if they're going to head down. So if we get a lower high, we could easily head back down, right? So you could put your stop just above the swing right there. Just like that. But what if you did get taken out? What if you put a little tight stop and you did get taken out? Could you get back in? Sure. With our scripts, you could real easily, I think. You may show you how to do that with lightning. Because we did take some of these trades this morning in the room, and I know some people are going to remember it. Okay? Let's look and see. Let's just speed it up a little bit to where it was the open of the market, because we open at 7:55. Wow, that almost got me. We open at 7:55. So there is our first trade right here at 7:59. We boxed this in. Does anybody remember that? Anybody remember that? Well, what you could also do, you're looking at this in real time. You've got a high, a low, a lower high, and a lower low. They're definitely taking out this swing right across here, right? If I was looking at this chart, like right now, let's say that I was just seeing this right now. Here's a swing that's on lightning. It just took it out. Everybody see that? You could definitely take that trade there. If you missed it, though, wait for it to retrace. It'll retrace. Watch and see if it doesn't retrace for you. I just about bet you it does, because 9 times out of 10 do. Draw your lightning on your chart, and we'll watch and see if it retraces. It's already retracing. What do you think? It's retracing. Your lightning swing is right there, at 28. What do you think? You want to take it if it takes 28 or even 25? That's a swing right there at 25 on Lightning. Hasn't identified it as far as power meter just yet. But I don't chase trades like this, so I'm going to at least wait for a little retracement since we got out of it. Draw on your charts and you'll see it. It's not there yet. Let's speed it up a little bit. I've got it going 1 time speed. See if we can get it. There's a little retracement. Good enough for me. See it right there at swing? See it right there between my 2 lines? Now, like I say, I'm a little bit more aggressive because at the open like this, I draw on my charts with my eyes. I don't necessarily draw the lightning on. Whoa, I just killed that one. Let's take it again. I moved my target when I shouldn't. All right, so we've got in our trade, right? Got a decent little trade. All right, where do you think the next trade on this chart is? Anybody? Because by what I taught you just now, you should see it. Anybody? Drawing your charts? All right, let's see. You want to kill this trade and just see if we can get it? Drawing on our charts. Okay, we have a high, a low, a higher high, so we got a swing right across here, right? Okay, at 20. All right, but to take it, you would have to break 20 first if we're going to. There you go. You just broke it. See that? You just broke it. So could we have taken that trade just right there when it got so close to that line that I just drew? And the answer is yes. Okay, but we just missed it. So let's see if we can get it another one. You want to try to see if we can figure it out again? Got to swing right at 20. It's already breaking down a little bit, but we're not chasers, right? We got to wait for it to retrace. Came right to resistance. See there? Now, will it work? I don't know, but resistance held, so I guess it is working. See how you draw your lines on your charts? Now, keep in mind that the reason that I took that is because the lightning micro trend is holding. Now, if micro quits holding, like this swing, see it how it just wicked it? If micro quits holding, then they're going to go up and they're going to do more of a medium retracement. But until that happens, see, here's your swing that should hold right here, right there. Now watch and see if they don't just pull it right down. After they may check it a little bit. Now that one pulled out a little bit more. Oh, this is at the open of the market too. You want to add if it breaks? We're going to add if it breaks that swing right there. Lightning 1. You can even turn this on. Power meter. If it closes, it'll give us a trade. If it doesn't, it won't. Power meter 1. Should turn red if it closes. Didn't close. No big deal. We're waiting on power meter 1. There you go. Just got it again. So we got 4 on. I'd probably at least let them get to that swing. There you go. All right. Does everybody see how you can see on these charts where these things go? You want to see if you can figure out the next one? What do you think? Well, it's dropping like a stone right now, and we're flat because we lost our trade. But let's just see here if we can figure out the very next one also. Let's slow it down a little bit because we need to figure this out. All right, drawing on our charts, I see 02. I see micro swing here at 96. Everybody see that, right? Okay, and let's look to the left to trade the right, see if there's anything else. There's a swing right there at 03, and there's a swing right here. I'll draw a line here too. And let's see if we can figure out which one. Oh, and there's a predictor. Predictor's saying that our trade's right here. What do you think? You want to take it? And then we'll wrap pretty quick. These predictors are pretty amazing, actually. Let's see if we can get a trade. It's got at least touch predictor. Within a couple of ticks even to be fine with me. See if we can get it. This may be the one trade that doesn't work out. We're going to find out because you've got a long ways down and your resistance is right up here at mid-band. But predictor's saying 88. So I'm going to trust predictor and I'm going to try this. And predictor looks like it's about 8 ticks. So I'm going to put my stop just above predictor if we get filled. It's got to at least touch the line or within 2 ticks of it. You want to try it with PM instead? Sure. I forgot to show, Suresh was wanting to kind of see how you do the trail stops, the longer term trail stops. And I forgot to actually show that. I apologize for that, Suresh. I'll probably have to just get with you after the room closes. But we've got 2 power meters green. You want to just try it like that instead? We'll go with 4. Actually, I'd probably be going 1 right now. See it hitting my line. Okay, I'd put my stop just above predictor because usually these predictors hold. If they're going to hold without heading up, that predictor should hold. So I've got a pretty tight stop. Let's go ahead and make it tighter. We're going to put it right on top of that predictor, 10 ticks. And let's go ahead and add 3 if this power meter goes red. There you go, we just added them. Okay, let's see if the trade works out. Box it where it is. We're feeling a little bit of heat on that. There we go. We're in the, well, yeah, yep. It's, there you go, there you go. There you go, you just got another trade. Okay, always watch your charts and see where to draw your lines on your charts, because here's an example right here. All right, you've got what I consider to be a secondary swing right across here. Okay, this doesn't tell me this is going to change trends, but if it takes this, it would even change trends. I don't like double bottoms like that that barely take it out and come back above resistance. Okay, so let's go ahead and take another trade, but we're going to be very cautious because of that double, almost a double bottom. They barely took out the low. Just like that. That was another predictor, but unfortunately I got it a little bit late on that predictor. I like to get them quicker than that. See, you would have already had your 5 ticks if you would have gotten it at predictor. That's why it's pretty important to get it at predictor. Now, if they take this out, see, you've got a high, you've got a low, you've got a lower. This is definitely an identified swing. It's really close to the mid band, but if they take this out, they could easily head up. Anybody trade this after the room closed, by the way? Well, we missed it. It took us out. Let's see if we can get something. Went above my swing, I'd be buying it. Put a nice tight stop on it. You know why you would buy it there? Because you'll see this time and time again when you're trading. See how you had a low here? Took it way out. You had a retrace. You barely took out your lows. You got to always watch that unless they hit resistance, which was here, and roll over. Because if they don't and they start taking out these swings, even if you didn't get it here, that's aggressive. If you got it here, that would have been a little bit more conservative. Okay? And you could have even gotten it when it just literally just barely came down and broke these little support levels like that. If you missed it there, what do you think? You want to draw on your chart and see if we can get one more and then we'll wrap? What about a predictor? You want to try it? Let's draw on our chart. We've got a high, we have a low, we have a higher high, higher low, never closed above the swing, so this is not identified. Now it is. Okay, that's good. We'll go ahead and draw again. See if we can get another trade. Always draw on your charts and see where they're going. Micro swing. These are my sweet spots as this keeps going up. Oh, now it's right here. So it's right there between those right there. See a little sweet spot there? High, low, higher, high. There's me a trade. See it? And you just got you a trade. Predictor. See how to draw on your charts and be able to see by looking to the left to trade the right? Did you go long there, Edward? Cool. Let's see. Would you have gone? Let me show you how you can go long there if you want to. Now keep in mind, you may have missed this entire thrust because it literally just went up like a bullet, you know, pretty much in about 15 minutes. But if you look at your charts, let me just show this before we wrap, and then we're going to wrap. I'll show you how to see a trend change in real time. Let's kill this. We don't care about it. Let's draw this right here. See that swing right there? See this resistance right here? Now if they start taking that out after like almost like a double bottom like this right here, isn't that your medium swing? And isn't this where we box in? And when we talk about boxing in, it doesn't necessarily have to do, you know, like 5 candles in a row. A box in would be simply, it goes above mid-band. You've got a bar that closes up, you got another bar that closes up like that. You box it. So could you have actually taken that trade right there the way we teach this? Yes. Absolutely. Well, keep in mind though, Diane, when they break medium swings, I don't trust phantoms. Okay? Remember what we were looking at before? Go over that one more time and then we'll wrap. Remember this phantom right here? Why was that a good phantom? Anybody? Because you had a high, you had a low, and you had the same high. See that right there? So this low was not identified right here. The way we teach. You've got a high, you've got a low, you've got a higher high, but it didn't do anything more than wick this area. So that's like a double top, right? So when that happens, they'll usually take out this swing and they'll identify a new one, and that's when this phantom comes in perfectly handy. That phantom I like. This phantom I don't like because you had a high, you had a low, you had a higher high with even a closed bar, and they take out this medium swing. Now, does that mean that this couldn't have been a phantom and bounced? And the answer is it could, but keep in mind that you can always do this based on lightning. See, like this trade here, if you didn't trust this, let's say, for instance, that this was breaking down a little bit, but when did this start doing the lightning back to the upside? Draw it on your charts and you'll see it. See this right through here? That's my lightning 2. Let's go ahead and do lightning 1. When did this actually start breaking back to the upside on lightning 1? Right across here. See, you have a low, a high, a higher low, and it's only a higher high when it breaks that. I would have probably put in my buy just above here, like that, and then you got the trade. Okay? But this trade over here, what if you would have shorted this side over here? All right, and let's say that this phantom had worked instead. Let's say that you shorted this, but remember we talk about not shorting it on the break. Okay, so it broke. What did it do? It came back and kissed, right? Right there. See how it kissed it? That's when you can tell it's actually breaking down. Okay, when it kisses resistance and rolls over. This one didn't kiss resistance and roll over. This one started heading up when it kissed resistance. See it right here? There's your resistance, and they started breaking it. And then they just kept going up. This one, on the other hand, kissed resistance exactly and broke down. That's how you can tell that. It's the rollover. It's what they do after they check resistance. Now, sometimes they'll just barely go above it, and then they'll pull back below the line. That's when you can short it. You know, sometimes you'll see it in real time where they'll come down like this, and then they'll go up like this, still get a lower high, but the way to tell when this is heading back down is when it starts taking that support back out. And that's where you would just simply short it, is below that swing area right there. If it did that, it doesn't necessarily have to kiss just basic resistance like that. It could kiss higher, because in this particular trade you had a high, low, lower high, lower low. So as long as you got a lower high than this one here, they could still roll over and go short. Okay? And our job is to be able to see it in real time. If they hit their head at resistance though, like this one did, you know, right there at that resistance and roll, you're not taking much chance on that trade boxing it in just like that right there. Just like that. And where it breaks. Okay? All right. Sorry I ran about 13 minutes over. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Keep in mind though, just like I was saying there, the reason that you want to watch those phantoms, remember phantoms are normally a great phantom going the same way the trend was going, or their trend changes. The way you can tell that is the rollover. Okay, it's the way they act at resistance. Okay, going back over that one more time. This one was doing the lightning dance down, but when did it start heading back up? Well, it for sure started heading back up when it took this out. See how it took it out, started resting, still held that low, higher low, and off it went. Okay, thanks everyone for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. And we do this every single day in the room, and I know everybody knows we know how to draw on these charts. All right, good night everyone, and I'll get Charles' webinar from Saturday up too. Jim, I can help you put your scripts on. Just do me a team viewer, and I can do that. And go ahead and give me a call, 405-657-2566, and I'll be happy to help put the scripts on it. If anybody else needs any help on that, just holler too. Suresh, I'll show you that like tomorrow after the room closes, how that auto trail works. I flat forgot about it. I was teaching being able to see these trades at the right moment, because I think everybody can tell that we do see these trades at the right moment. You know, if you look at this chart right here, you could easily see, I mean, even if this hadn't done this at the time, my cursor keeps going crazy. Where is it at now? There it is. Wow. Okay. If I looked at this chart like right now, if this was to break this 19, I'd be heading up, right? But what if it broke down here? Wouldn't it be heading up if it broke this swing? See there? And the answer is yes. Did you have to take it right there? No, you box it in. And by the way, if this was in real time, you could even hit this box like this right here, and it would box it about that big. It would have still gotten that trade. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you later. Jim, give me a shout here in just a few minutes, if you would, please. Good night, everyone.